Hello everybody, Nine Anna Des. How's everybody doing today on this Monday? It's always rainy days and Mondays, right? It's supposed to rain today, but it looks pretty clear to me anyway. Not a weatherman or nothing, but yeah. As you can see, I blew a whole bunch of leaves into the center there. And here, I made a bunch of piles. Makes it easier for the workman when he comes to rake. I blow all the leaves away from him, so he only has to work in a few spots. There's some scraping I gotta do and blowing I gotta do this afternoon, but that'll get done. And there's Miss V having new sniffs because it's not all leaves anymore. There's actually some grass she can smell. We just came from our walk. So there's that. Vivi, look at mommy. Look at your scruffy face. She goes next Tuesday for her groom. So, everybody have a good weekend? Mine was nice and quiet. Like I said, I was going to do next best thing to sweet FA, and I accomplished it. There you go. Just get the job done. It's better than what the Democrats are trying to do. They're working to get the job done, and Republicans are on vacation. Wouldn't you like that job? He's saying that, oh yeah, we're working 365. Are you really? I watched that little twerp this morning. Mini Mike, I got no Johnson. Except when I'm on the stroll. Just saying. I don't know if it's true or not, but he hits me like, as Jennifer Welsh says on iHip News, he hits me like a DL queen. Well, maybe a princess. But anyway, Democrats are working their arses off. And like I said, Republicans are on vacation. They have been on vacation. I think it's coming up on 14 weeks this year so far. They've been in office. What, 10 months? 9 months? Most of it's been on vacation, and when they do show up, they bitch and argue about DEI. Because they hate having anything diverse, because it has to be milky white and Christian. Otherwise, get it gone. And if it's equitable, all you ladies out there, they want you to vote for them, but they don't want you to work for them. So no diversity, no equality. We are back in the 50s, where women were supposed to be barefoot, pregnant, and in the kitchen. How'd that work out? Because the 60s came, we got the pill and said, fuck you guys, or unfuck you guys. Yeah, we got the pill. Catholic Church didn't like it too much, but they're not in our bedrooms and they're not paying our bills. So they want to take your Medicaid, and they're saying, no. We're just going to tighten it up a little bit. Yeah. Have you seen what's in Medicaid? Went through some of that the other night. You could apply for like old age, I guess, or whatever, at 50. Oh no, they've boosted that to 62 now. And if you're old, like me, and you're able-bodied like a boy, then you have to work. You don't get those benefits that you paid into. They're not going to let you have them. You have to work some more. So get Granny, roll her out of bed, get her PSW to clean her all up, get her on her feet, send her out the door with her little box of lunch, because she can go to work somewhere. Is she going to work as hard as a Republican in Congress? I hope she does. Because they are doing sweet fuck all. They're doing nothing. So there's that. They are going to screw you 6 ways to Sundays. And if there's, by chance, any Republicans listen to this. I've been watching so many TikToks lately. And I got to tell you, everything they voted for, they're saying themselves, FA and FO, and we're finding out. What took you so long? People lined up to tell you, and all you seen was a black woman, a black Asian woman running against a white man and said, we're not having that. You didn't give a rat's ass what she was telling you. It was all true. But you didn't care. You didn't care then because he lied to you and told you you were getting all the goods. You were getting the goods. You voted for a fucking slogan. That's what you voted for. Slogans. Because guess what? All those slogans are gone. When Trump came in, I guess the price of, say, ground beef. Ground beef was what? Maybe $4 a pound? $3.79 on sale, whatever. In some stores in the States now, ground beef is almost $10 a pound. That's 2.5 times what it was when Trump said, I'm going to bring down groceries. That's a word nobody ever uses. Groceries. I'm going to bring groceries down. Yeah? Guess what? He's not. Simple things. Mouthwash. Used to cost like what? $3.25 a bottle? It's now $8.97 in one store I saw. This is on the news. I haven't been to the States, so don't out me. But yeah, almost $9 a bottle for something that was under $4. I'm bitching about prices up here. My husband just bought a few groceries there, and bread was $3.59 a loaf. I can remember when bread was $1/4 a loaf. And I'm not that old. Well, my feet feel that old, but I'm not that old. So you got all this bullshit going on, and you voted for the slogan. I'm going to bring grocery prices down. We're not touching Medicare or Medicaid until they touch it. Because like Mike Lee said, he's that nice young fella, good Christian boy from Utah, saying, ooh, that was Russ Vought's wet dream. He's been dreaming about this since puberty. I rather hope he had a few little fantasies in his head. Like most healthy teenage boys. But no, putting people off Medicaid. I watched that little princess, Manny Mike, got no Johnson because now he's a princess. But yeah, he's telling people that the Democrats only want to pay for illegals for their Medicaid and Medicare. What's in that bill that the Democrats wanted was to maybe go ahead and if an undocumented worker is hit by a car, let's say, and they're pretty mangled, first thing they do is EMS comes to the scene of the accident, bundles them all on a stretcher after they do some triage and then whip them over to the hospital. They expect the doctors at the hospital, the Republicans, to go, oh, where's his papers? Where's his papers? My husband's back and now he's going to pick up my son. Where's his papers? They expect a woman who gets rushed to the hospital. She's in her final trimester. She's about to deliver, but the baby's not coming. They expect a doctor in the ER to go, where's her papers? Oh, gonna get her out of here. Take her home. We can't touch people that are illegal. Yeah. But they're good Christians, right? We support life. Whose? That's the question. Whose life do you support? Whose life do you support? Evangelical Christians I don't know, did their mama or grandma come over on the Mayflower? Great-grandmother, great-great-grandmother. You got that line? Yeah. That's who they give a shit about. What about baby working on a farm with the mother or whatever? The kid, kids get away from you. Gets away from you and gets a limb taken off by some farm equipment because, they were kids. Nope, they don't get any help because Democrats just said that Medicaid would pay the doctor. Pay the doctor that saved their lives. Well, just think of it this way, Republicans. They saved their life so you can deport them. Yeah, doing you a favor. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're doing you a favor. That's what they're up to, and they don't care. They don't care. And now they're blaming everything on Chuck Schumer, where they were lauding him back in March because he stupidly voted for their bill. Well, we got to do something. We can't put the people out of work. Guess who's out of work? It happened anyway, Chuck. Should have done it back then, and maybe this bullshit would be over by now. But no, hang in there, Chuck. Hang in there. You too, Hakeem Jeffries. You guys all talk a good game in front of the microphones, but when push comes to shove, it's like, well, we couldn't keep the people out of work. Guess what? You can. Neighborhoods are going around helping people that are out of work. The people are getting together, and you don't want that. That's what it is. The people are coming together, and you don't want that. Because they are saying, our government did this. What's this, the third shutdown since Trump was in office in season 1 and now season 2? 3 times. And every time there is a GOP government, guess what, people? Everything goes for a shit. When the Democrats come back in, like Obama, after the massive spending and stuff, he came in, President Bush gets elected in 2000. He comes into office. He had a deficit because a Democratic president paid the fucking bills. He came into a deficit, and by the time Obama took over, it was near a depression. It was near depression times. In 8 years, he basically fucked over the whole budget. It was like depression times. So, bit by bit, Obama picked and saved and got people health care. Or, like I said, if there's Republicans or Maga listening, that would be the Affordable Care Act. I prefer to call it Obamacare because he tried for his whole 8 years to get that done. Clinton and both Clintons did in their 8 years. So, yeah. Obama came in there and he got everything up. He got employment numbers up and growing again. He got unemployment down for blacks and Hispanics. He got more women working. He had the whole country getting back on track. And then came the Mango Moose Knuckle, who just ripped the shit right out of it, spent almost $9 trillion on everything was, the Democrats are raising the deficit. Nobody raised that deficit more than the Mango Moose Knuckle. I think it was something like $2.7 trillion that Biden did. But he was digging out after COVID because the Mango Moose Knuckle did sweet F all. It was Biden that had to get those supply chains open. It was Biden that had to get those vaccines out. And he did a really good job. It was Biden that got, by this time in Biden's presidency, he had the infrastructure bill signed, sealed, and delivered, and all these red states were getting their bridges, getting their roads fixed, getting new pipes put in, cleaning buildings, cleaning schools. They were doing all this stuff. Fixing airports. Mango Moose Knuckle comes in. He's made more money than he saved. He has put more money in his pocket than what he has saved the Americans. He says $17 trillion. If that's the case, everybody in the United States of America should have free education and free health care. $17 trillion, my arse. I'm going to say he's hoping to put at least 4 of that in his own pocket and his kids. Grifty bastards, that's all they are. They tell lies and they expect people to swallow it. And there's still a lot of them out there with the big soup spoon, boy, just slurping that shit in like there's no tomorrow. Anyway, 99 loves you. Be good, be safe. Please take care of you first so you can take care of somebody else. We're gonna need it. Up here too, Western Canada has gone for a big dump, and I'm going to talk about that in my second video this afternoon. So you take care of you first, because I love you. And I like having you to hang around. I love hanging around with you. Newcomers, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you leave a comment, please be kind, courteous. Just don't be a shit. If you got an opinion opposite of somebody else, write your opinion and off. It's the same with any of the Democrats that come on here, because sometimes we can be a little catty. So let's not. Okay? Let's not. Okay, I'm going to go feed Vivi her breakfast. I love you. Take care of you.